Hey everybody, Rico here, and I just bought a storage unit, but this one's a little bit unique. I actually bought from this guy before. He's a reseller, and bought a few things from him previously. I actually made money off of the stuff that I bought from him. He's having to move for work temporarily and needed to offload quickly, so he reached out and offered this locker up for 450 bucks. I took it. There was one item that I was hoping to be in here that isn't. That um, is a little bit of a bummer, but I still think there's money. I shouldn't say I think. I know there's money to be made just in the amount of inventory that's here. There's just a lot of it. So let me flip this camera around and give you guys a look at what all we are seeing. So he was actually running yard sales and stuff out of this locker to sell his inventory. So he's actually got shelving and everything, which is great. I'm in need of shelving. Electronics are doing well right now. Each one of these little systems that I'm showing here probably can get 50 bucks for. VCRs are doing really well right now. So just in electronics, I estimate that should be the break even, and then all this other inventory we'll look at hopefully getting into profit. There's two of these they're not Roombas, but they're the Roomba like robot vacuums. There's a nice motorcycle jacket, dirt bike jacket, tons of clothes, some shoes, lots of smalls. There's some costume jewelry in here. And we've got someone priced some of this stuff out, 3, 10, 4, like random prices on some of this stuff. I'm expecting that. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of trash, if any, because this guy was a reseller and reselling out of this locker. So unlike a normal storage locker that you might buy online in auction, and you have to go in and it's a crapshoot and there's a bunch of trash to go through, there's not going to be as much of that trash to work through. There's be some stuff that I probably don't want to deal with, but other things that I will. And I mean, just a lot of smalls. There's a disc golf disc. So it's going to take a little while to get through this stuff. Obviously going to take some work to get things listed, but this stuff will sell. There's a third-party Nintendo controller. There's a lot of random stuff. Nice Baylor polo in there. A lot of different clothes, jersey. So I'm gonna have to work through this stuff and see where the values are, the super valuable stuff is, and pull that for what I want to list on eBay, and then go through and figure out what will be just best move through like a yard sale or something myself. And then probably look at some other options for selling. There's a lot of cameras, camera lenses, just a little bit of stuff everywhere that I think will sell. There's a little bit of trash there. Hats. Looks like some plush. Golf ball covers. A shoe shine thing. Electronics should all work. Barbie doll stuff. Hit sticks. Oh, that feels empty. Bummer. A motorcycle helmet. There's some random stuff. There might be some brokens there. So there's going to be a little bit of trash to work through and get rid of. But this unit, he said, is paid for the month. So I have time to kind of work through this and figure out how I want to parse it out. And then we go from there. It's a lot of stuff. I think the electronics are the big thing that I'm going to pull first. And then start making some money off of it. A couple of vintage cameras. What is this? Bank of America, $1,000. Little fake money. That's cool. Cigarette advertisement. Those things sell. Little Orphan Annie plate. I mean, it's just a lot of random stuff. Look at that Microtech scanner. So, had a buddy of mine that went in on this locker with me. So we split the cost. And hopefully we'll throw some profits up there and some sewing kits. Package. Wow, there's a lot of good randoms. You know, some of these remotes are probably no good. Some of them will probably sell. Philips, something like that. Any Sony, if they're in here, will sell. Some of the more universal ones might not. The costume jewelry's got my attention. Some vintage stuff, vintage toys, anything vintage is doing well. Nice belt buckle. I don't know, this might be one of those ones too where I put a whole bunch of stuff together and get with one of the local auction houses and work with them, because they might be able to help. Nice vintage Fisher Price plane. That's cool. They might help me move this stuff a lot quicker. So stay tuned. This is the reseller locker. And yeah, I'll throw this video up just so everybody has an idea of what I got myself into, and then from there we will Donatello Bank. A little bit of damage on them, but a lot of things like that. It might be a lot of $1, $2 here, there, and whatnot, but it all adds up in the end. And everything I look at is just like a little interesting thing that pops up. There's a couple of dolls over there. Not a big fan of at the moment. Some sealed games, board games. Looks like some sort of oven. I mean, it's going to be kind of fun. I've talked to this guy before. He's a pretty good guy. The one thing missing out of here, there were 2 Frankenstein blow molds that I was very interested in. And he said he did sell those. So a little bummed that those aren't in here. But, again, there's still profit in here regardless. Those were going to be about $150. Which would have been a good chunk of the cost of this locker that potentially be recouped quicker, but that's okay. There's still plenty of stuff to work through on here. So I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna get back out, and then I'm gonna try to get out here again in a couple of days to really work through this locker. So stay tuned, guys.